Hey everybody, Jason with Learn to Survive here. This is the last time I'm going to do this video because I'm becoming very miserable here. Um, the Great Lakes are doing what the Great Lakes does the best other than sinking ships, and that's fuck with the weather systems. Lakes are so warm, it's created the dome that's keeping the cool weather that we normally get this time of year out of here. And my air conditioner decided to not work anymore. It decided it wanted to retire, and we're at the time of year where you can't find an air conditioner in the store. It's all heaters and everything else. So it's about 85, almost 90 degrees in here right now. Luckily, I have the living room and the bedrooms are all rooms with no exterior walls, so they stay pretty damn cool. And we've just kind of been contained into that one area. Then one area is the bedrooms and the living room, to where it's staying down about 70 degrees. So with that being said, I'm going to go on to the video, and this video is called, as in the Things I Love series, and this item I do highly recommend. It's not something you would have with you or be useful in a grid down scenario unless you have alternative electrical power sources like solar or wind, or one of them jump charge packs that you can plug an electrical item in. But to maintain a certain piece of your gear, this is the best thing to have. This is the Work Sharp knife sharpening system. Now this one's the basic. It's about 70 bucks. They have a Ken Onion model who, if you know who Ken Onion is, I don't need to explain. For those that don't know, he's a very well-known knife designer and knife maker. And he has his own model that has a lot more features. You not only got your, with the Ken Onion model, your guide rods here. If you freehand sharpen, uh, that's got adjustments on for the belts to different angles, and it just does a lot more. Wider belts, leather straps, and stuff. And this works basically with a belt. This one that I happen to have on it's the medium grit. You can take a knife and you can change the angles on it with it. That's actually gets that aggressive. Or I've had knives that I've broke tips off of that I've restored tips with this. But you start off with this green one, which is very abrasive. This really cuts into the blade, establishing the edge if you really mess up your edge. This one's a little bit less aggressive. And then you've got this 6,000 grit that basically hones it and polishes the edge. Very simple system to use, very functional, and does a very good job. It does better than stones. And if you use this on your knives in a grid down scenario where you have to use a sharpening stone, if you don't totally mess up and nick up your blades, sharpening stones are going to do a lot better. I sharpened two blades today. One blade is this Gerber Freeman, and I had this one sitting on the floor since it's so big. My buddy gave me the machete from the Gerber video I did that wasn't used, that we didn't mess up, and I'm going to show you what this sharpening system can do. Let's use the Gerber Freeman. Now this knife came sharp, very usable sharpness on it, but wasn't hair popping sharp. I mean, it could kind of cut paper, but it was a serviceable edge. Took about 5 minutes total to sharpen this, and that's with switching out the belts. What you do is I started with the green belt because I did change this from the standard Gerber 15 degree blade angle to a 20, so that's 20 on each side, 40 degrees. That's typically what a kitchen knife is, or a very high-end fixed blade or folding knife. And it went from usable to very sharp, and that's a thick piece of paper there. And now here's, yeah, this one's probably been wet, and but normal thickness paper. Don't even have to pull the knife, it just cuts right through it. Now the machete. This thing would not cut hot butter. Most machetes are not razor sharp implements. This one now is razor sharp. This is no joke on the sharpness of this. Okay? It will take limbs, and not just tree limbs. So if you're looking for a good system to maintain your knives or to change angles on a blade to a different angle that's going to fit your purposes more, and to put a hair splitting edge on them, get a work sharp sharpening system. Get them on Amazon for about $50. The professional Ken Onion model you can get, I think they're about 140, 150 bucks. And the belts for the work sharps are about 10 bucks. They work really well. Being the sanding belts, this is what professional knife makers use to sharpen their knives anyway. Just a smaller version than the big honking thing they have that take a 6-inch wide belt, and very quick, very simple to use. Once you plug it in, you put your first band on, run it through the guide 5 times each side, change the next belt down 5 times each side, go to the 6,000 grit honing belt. Do that as many times as you want. The more you do it, the sharper you get it. Personally, the machete and the knife I showed you, after the 5 and 5, I went 15 times each side on the honing belt, and that's what I achieved with it. We all know a sharp knife is a safe knife, and it works a lot quicker than sharpening stones. I don't have nothing against sharpening stones. I own quite a few of them. I carry one in my everyday bag. I carry one in my bug out bag. But this is a system I use here at home. Makes it a lot quicker, a lot easier, and with an edge on it like that, if you're out in the field and you have to use a sharpening stone because you get a little bit dull, it's going to make it a lot easier to sharpen than having a blade that's totally messed up and, or totally dull, where you have to sit there a long time with sharpening stones. You get it, you got it razor sharp like I have these now. You're using it out in the field, it's starting to get dull, you've got a little stone on you, a couple good strikes across, you're back to where it was. So that's just one item I absolutely love, and I think everybody should have, because it just works really well. It's really quick, and if you have knives and you maintain them knives, you can do a bunch of knives at one time. I mean, I'm the type of guy, I've got enough knives that I dull one out, I just throw it aside and grab a different one, and then when I've got 7, 8 dull knives, you know, or I've went through all my knives, then I start sharpening them. Um, and let's say 10 knives. I'm just putting a number out there here. 10 knives. I can have them all sharpened in about half hour, 45 minutes to where you can shave with them. So that's just an item that I really like and I really love, and I think you would too if you decide to get one. It's really changed my life. I mean, you see these other sharpeners like the Bavarian Edge you see advertised on late night TV, or other cheap sharpeners that have the tungsten carbide blades like this that go in them. Do they work? Yes, they'll sharpen a knife, but god damn it, let me tell you, them things pull off such an aggressive amount of metal. Use that once or twice, your knife is pretty much shot for any sharpener, unless you want to sit there for hours with a sharpening stone and regrind and recut an edge into that, or use the work sharp and regrind and recut an edge into it. And you know, it's just what it is, man. um, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I hope to talk to y'all later. I hope I can get it cool enough in here to do a couple more videos today. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you later.